Hello, hello! Before making the next big step in your life, like getting a degree, getting a new job, or learning a new skill, that's very important to know why are you doing this, what do you expect from it, and what's the goal behind all of that, and whether you actually want this. So let's say you are thinking about becoming a software engineer. Nice choice, by the way. Is that something that you really like and the decision isn't driven by your parents or the current trends? Because right now it seems that everyone is a software engineer or an actor or both. And whether the income that you'll get in 10, 20, 30 years will satisfy your needs. They don't teach us financial literacy at schools, and as a result, lots of people just don't know how to build wealth. Those people, they don't think about what they're gonna live on when they retire. So as a result, when they're 59 and a half or 60, wherever their age they choose to retire, they don't really have too much money to live on. By the way, I'm sort of one of them. I started this YouTube channel so it can help me to keep going and learn how to build wealth, how to invest properly and not lose all the money at once. It didn't happen yet, no. And yeah, I'll post a video where I explain the goals of this channel, so feel free to watch. If you decided to build wealth, that's a huge decision. That's a very big step. That's a pivot point in your life. Can I be more dramatic? No, I don't think so. But anyway, before starting investing, it makes so much sense to sit down and set your financial goals. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to set financial goals, why is it important after all, and how I defined mine. That was an eye-opening experience. But first, like this YouTube video so YouTube can recommend it to others. Okay, let's rock and roll. If you say, I wanna just be rich. But what is rich? Is it having $1 million, $2 million, maybe $100 million, maybe even more? Rich can be different from people of different ages. When for 10 years old, having $100 in their pocket can be, oh, I'm the richest man in the world. Or for 30 or 40 years old, 1 million or 2 millions might not be enough. That's why it's very important to sit down and define your priorities. What do you want to achieve in life? What's rich means to you? I don't want to wake up one morning in 10, 20 years and think, oh my God, where did all my money go? Why don't I have a house? Why don't I have a nice car? Why cannot I afford going somewhere for a vacation? So I'm doomed to have that scenario unless I set financial goals and start building wealth. The goals can be material and monetary. So let's say if you want to get a house in 5 years, this is a material goal, but you can convert it to a monetary goal. You need to know how much that house could cost. If you don't have an amount, how can you understand how much money to save every month and which investing strategy to choose, or whether you had a successful year and you're on the right track and you will achieve your goal by the defined time, or you need to adjust something because you're not gonna make it. So let's use my financial goals as an example. I'll even move for that. So there are 3 types of goals. Short term, those are reachable within a year. Medium term, from 1 to 5 years, and long term, anything longer than 5 years. For my short-term goal, I want to travel to Hawaii with my family in April and spend there around 2 weeks. For a family of 3, it will cost around $5,000. Another short-term goal that we have is to start investing into real estate, which basically means to buy a house. But we are not sure about that yet because we need to educate ourselves first. And yeah, almost half of the homeowners regret of having a house, while other half makes profit. For the down payment for our first house, we would like to budget around 20K. The down payments are usually measured in percentages, 3, 5, 10, 20%. But because we don't know how expensive the house will be, it's easier for us right now to just set around 20K and then just measure what's the percentage it will be equal to, depending on the price of the house. So if it's only 3%, let it be. If it's 5%, well, good. 10%, I doubt. Those are all my short-term goals. Other examples of short-term goals are paying off debt or creating an emergency fund. By the way, the average credit card interest is around 17.87%, while the average market return is around 10%, which means that paying off a credit card debt is 8% more profitable. I have only one medium-term goal, which is buying a house for ourselves in California. I did research and found out that the house that matches our criteria costs approximately $800,000, which in 5 years will cost a different amount because of an appreciation rate. The appreciation rate is an average around 6.77% in California, which means that the house will cost around $1,100,000 in 5 years, which is crazy. Let's say we want to pay 15% as down payment, and 50% is around $165,000. In order to have that money in 5 years, we would need to save around $2,700 per month for 5 years. Or instead of saving those money on our savings account, we could invest those money into an index fund like S&P 500 that has an average return of 10%. In this case, we would need to save $2,300, which is $400 less than the first option. Although investing into an index fund is considered a safe investing strategy, no one can guarantee that the market doesn't crash and by the time we are ready to withdraw this money, it doesn't grind to a halt. Alright, those are all medium-term goals that I have, which is only one, but it's more than enough. $2,700 per month, Jesus. So, my long-term goals. This is where it gets very interesting. And it's better to have only one long-term goal because, well, this is a long-term goal, right? So it's expensive. That's why it needs time to achieve that. And the long-term goal is to retire, ideally early. But first, let's define what is early for me. I'm 33 and I'm just starting investing. For the someone who starts at 18 years old, retire at 30 is an early retirement, but for me, retire at 45 would be awesome, which is in 12 years. So let's calculate how much money would my partner and I need to invest in order to retire in 12 years when I'm 45. Let's assume that right before our retirement starts, we will be making the same amount of money we are making right now. And in order for us to be able to maintain the same lifestyle, we will need to get the same amount of money from our investments during our retirement. Right now, our household income is around 150K, which in 12 years, due to inflation, will be around 200K. There is 4% rule that I really like, according to which you need to withdraw no more than 4% from your investment account every year in order not to exhaust that investment account before your retirement is over. Before you know, you'll go. And this rule has lots of pros and cons, and we might not use it when we're retired, but for the purposes of this video, I'll use it to get the numbers. Alright, so we know that we want to keep earning 200K per year from our investment account when we are retired. And we know that that 200K is 4% of the amount that should be on our investment account. So it's a simple math. We can calculate that we need to have around $5 million on our investment account in order to retire and maintain the same lifestyle. And using any compound calculator, by the way, I prefer the NerdWallet calculator, we can find out how much money do I need to invest every month in order to have those 5 millions in 12 years. And I have to invest 18K every month. Just insane. But this is why we need to set goals, because we can realize that it's not possible. Or it is possible, but I need to do some steps in order to achieve those goals. Right, so what options do I see here? Well, actually lots of options. This is not a depressing video. I didn't want to make everyone upset. So the first option is to keep working until the day I die, but I don't really like it. No, probably it's gonna be my plan B or plan C. The second option is to think about my goals one more time, to readjust them. One of the short-term goals we have is to go to Hawaii for 2 weeks, which will cost around 5K for a family of 3. But after seeing those numbers, I don't think that we're gonna do that. Because it's just so expensive. Because if you want to buy a house soon, it just doesn't make sense to me why to spend 5K on a 2-week vacation. Although I think people need to enjoy their life at the moment and not to just only think about their future. But unless our income changes, I don't think that it makes sense to spend 5K. I would go to another place. We would probably still go for vacation somewhere like Santa Monica. My medium-term goal is to buy a house for ourselves that costs around $800,000. I need to actually think about it. Do we actually need to do that? Do we actually want this? Because we have another goal to buy our first rental property this year or next year. But why not to keep it for us, for example, for now, to live there for a year or 2 years, to renovate it, and when we are ready to move on and buy another house and start our investing in real estate journey that way. So maybe that's also a good idea. I actually like it a lot. That means that medium-term goal is for now eliminated whatsoever. But what to do with a long-term goal? How can I have $5 million in 12 years? Well, if nothing is changing, I won't be able to have that amount of money. And in that case, I will have to keep working until the desired amount is reached. Or I can change something right now in order to make more money and invest more, and as a result, have that $5 million sooner. What can I do? I can find a better job. I can find a side job. I can make this channel monetized. By the way, subscribe and hit the bell and like this video. It will help my channel a lot. But there is one thing that I can do right now, and that's a big step towards achieving my goal. To start saving more. I'm not saving actually right now, but just to start saving. I was thinking about saving around 20% of our monthly income, but now I'm thinking about 30 or even 40%. I wanted to clarify that I'm against that kind of lifestyle when people save for the future and not enjoying their life at the moment. I don't want to do that. I don't want to live like that. But there are expenses that are not needed. For example, I buy on Amazon a lot. I buy things that I can live without easily. So if I stop doing that, I'll be able to save way more money every month. I also started budgeting, and that will help me to identify the categories that I spend too much money on. Maybe there is something really extra, like a coffee in a coffee shop. I'm so happy that I decided to make this video about that topic that seemed very unnecessary, but because I did that, now I see that the goals, that's something that was obvious to me, that, oh, I will have those money when I retire. But no, it's not achievable unless I do something, unless I start improving my income, unless I start looking for another job opportunities. So I encourage you to do the same, and please feel free to leave me comments. I would actually love to see your comments and what are your results and what do you think of all of this. So thank you again. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell and like this video.